Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Confess It, Baby.
Welcome. Today we are not alone. We have a guest. I think this is the first guy this season, right?
Oh my gosh, it really is.
I think it is, right? I was going to search yesterday, but then I forgot.
No, it is.
Okay.
It's for a
so
fact.
we officially have our first guy.
Our first guy.
First guest. That's a guy this season.
The truth will be confessed.
Our friend. Well, my friend. You just met him today.
But now he's my friend too.
Ozzy, welcome to Confess It, Baby.
Happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
So our topic today is going to be very interesting. The point of it is going to be basically comparing from girls and guys, like how to cope after a breakup. Right? Because I feel like I've never asked a guy, like, how do you cope?
No, I've never really asked a guy that either.
Yeah.
Has a girl asked you that before?
Nope.
Well,
interesting. So we're going to learn
Today's the
a
day.
lot of things. Like we're going to learn from you and you're going to learn from us. Ili, can you back up a little bit? I can't see.
Yes. Hold on.
She's like, get my way. All right, but first, Ozzy, whose heart did you break?
Oh my.
Oh, straight to it.
We're going in
Straight to
strong.
it.
Whose heart did you break?
He's blushing
Well,
already.
we can't talk names here.
No
So
names. No
it'll
names.
be X1, X2.
Correct. That's
Okay.
fine.
That's how
Okay.
that's how we'll talk.
Are they in
want
order?
a number? You could explain it however you want, or better yet, who has broken your heart?
So I think when you break a heart, you're already breaking your own heart, right?
Okay.
So my first sex, it was a hard breakup. You know, it's very different from the second, but that's because I would probably, I was much more immature. I was younger. I didn't know exactly what I wanted. I didn't like myself. I didn't like who I was. I didn't like how I treated her. So it was very different. And then, she never hurt me. I was with her for 6 years. The girl never hurt me. My second ex was a little different because it was, it was two-way.
Wait, but before you continue, so she never hurt you.
Ever.
Then why did you break up with her?
I think I was hurt
Like,
myself.
why would a guy do that? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, she was a great girl. Amazing girl. I mean, I'm sure she still is. I don't know who she is today, but I'm sure she's a great girl today. She was a great girl when I was with her, but I don't know. I think I was just too young. I didn't even know what it meant to love. I didn't love myself, so I didn't really understand, what it took to love someone and the sacrifices that you had to make. So I definitely didn't make any. I was a fucking asshole.
How old were you?
So we started when I was 20. She was 17.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And
Wow, that's really young.
yeah,
Her 17,
that's another thing.
like that's a baby.
Yeah, I was a baby. I didn't know myself.
Yeah.
I didn't know myself. She didn't know herself.
Definitely not.
I mean, the whole point of the relationship, as you start, it's like you learn about yourself and the
each
person,
relationship
what you
take
expect
something out of it. Yeah.
out of a relationship. Like I think all of my breakups have been different because of that. Because you grow as you date and as you get to know people, you realize who you are, what type of dater you are, what type of thinker you are. And I think that's what makes every single breakup different. And also the person you're dating too.
Yeah.
Because the way you
100%,
react is also different in every sense.
100%.
Are we going to cry tonight?
Honestly, it's very therapeutic and I'm going through it, so I might cry. So don't stare at me, I might cry.
Honestly, I love a good crying
We
session.
should have gotten some wine.
We
Fuck.
should have gotten some.
That's I fucked up.
I feel like there's a conversation we need to have
Yeah.
with wine.
Question though, do
Yes.
you like us girls? We're very open and vulnerable, and we have like girl nights and
Do
like.
you guys have
we
guy
talk- yeah.
nights
Do
and
you
you're
guys have
vulnerable?
like guy nights, or do you guys talk about your feelings amongst each other? Like, how does that look for guys?
Yeah, we have boys' night. I mean, it depends on the relationship you have with that your specific friend. Sometimes you have a more emotional relationship with one guy and not really with another. Like I have friends that I'm not emotional with at all. And I have friends where I am emotional with, and I talk about my life. I talk about how I feel. I talk about the pain, the suffering, and all of that. But I think it depends on the person. In the grand scheme of things, guys don't really talk much about emotion, to be honest. Maybe now that we're older, because it's different, you just grow softer and you learn to empathize more. So it's easier. And then as you get older, you've experienced so much that it's you kind of think about it like, okay, well, I'm not the only one that's gone through this. There's no fucking way. So I think it's easier. But yeah, guys talk about their feelings too, for sure.
But you guys feel like, do you feel like you guys bottle it up more? And like, if you were to share it more like with your family instead of like a friend?
I mean, personally, probably not.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, no, probably not. Yeah, I think guys, they suffer in silence for sure. And when a guy's suffering.
How? What are the signs?
Oh, God.
Please tell me the
She
signs.
wants to know.
I want to know.
overindulgence in many things, in women, in alcohol, in drugs.
Isn't that adding fire to the flame?
100%. Yeah, but that's you do that kind of when, you know, when you're in a place of immaturity too, you know, for sure. And
So coping now, like in your 30s,
Oh,
what would that look like?
no drinking, no smoking, no going out, staying out till 5 a.m., no, you know, a woman every other month, you know, none of that. It's kind of like staying active. That's very important for sure. Staying active, drink a lot of water, eating healthy. And then next thing you know, you feel better, you know, you feel better. But yeah, it does add fuel to the fire when you're out there just being crazy, trying to, and you're not really doing anything. You're not getting over anyone. You're, you know, trying to drown out the pain.
I think that's why sometimes it's harder. I like putting myself in other people's shoes, and I feel like it's harder for a guy to cope with heartbreak and these certain type of painful situations because of the fact that you guys have like this standard, this like ego mindset that you don't want other people to know you're suffering or going through it because, oh, then they'll think I'm not man enough. And in reality, it doesn't mean that you're not man enough. It's just, it's normal to embrace heartbreak and feel the pain. But we live in a society where it's all about like the face we have on and that poker face and the attitude. And it's like, it's okay to break down sometimes and like find people you trust to vent to. You know, I have my best friends. I've had my guy best friend, my girl best friend, and finding that comfort to like vent to them is enough for me to feel okay, better about a situation. But the second I start bottling things, oh man, like that's when you start going downhill. And I have that issue with breakups. Whenever I'm struggling with a relationship, I bottle it in because I don't want anyone to know that my perfect looking relationship is going through it. I don't want anyone to know that, oh, the perfect happy Ely is like actually miserable and depressed because of like some guy. So you store it in and then it starts affecting your everyday life.
Yeah,
your
you're always in a
performance at the
badass
gym.
mood.
Yeah. And like when I get depressed, I eat and I stop working out.
I
That's
lose
how I
my
cope.
appetite and I go hard at the gym. But I
wish.
lose my appetite.
I wish.
Pretty good, but like
Hurt me all
you
you
don't have
want.
energy to work out because I lose my appetite.
Yeah. You do look skinnier right now.
I know I've lost 6 pounds.
So how do you, what do you think of that? Like, you know, like obviously us girls talking about how we cope and like we put ourselves through like, oh, this like, you know, depressive mental state. What do guys think of how girls cope?
Yeah.
So
Do you think it's easier for us?
I think,
We're more dramatic.
no, I think it might be easier because it's easier for you guys to express your emotions and put it out there. And
It
then
is.
you're not going to be looked a certain way or be put in a box and be called, you know, emotional or
Yeah.
soft.
I am
or,
definitely the one after a breakup to send a long paragraph telling you exactly how I feel. Doesn't matter if I look ridiculous. I'm going to tell you because that's the only way I can like get over it.
Yeah. It also
Letting
gives
go
you
of my
closure.
100%, yeah.
I think nowadays it's so hard to get closure.
It is.
From not just relationships, but whether it's a job or a family problem, like closure is something that us humans are so scared of for some reason, or not even scared of, but we just don't know how to approach it.
I think that's where the problem is, not knowing how to approach it.
So you're brave for doing that. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
You
I
don't.
can't. No, I know. When usually my last few breakups, like I'm straight with all of them except one. He blocked me on everything.
Oh shit.
But usually I like being on good terms with all of my exes. Like
Yeah,
there's no
same.
reason, like we shared great times, bad times, we learned from each other, but there's no reason to hate each other unless you give me a reason to hate, you know?
Yeah.
But I've been able to move on and like be on okay terms with all of them. If I were to see them out on the street, I would say hi, except for
Same.
one. I actually saw this one guy recently and locked eyes. I started walking over to say hi. And
And
he
suddenly
literally
walked
just turned
away.
around and like, yeah.
Oh, what a douche. Wait,
But
Ozzy, have you had like someone, like a girl, obviously, like sends you a long paragraph telling you her emotions? But what goes through your mind as you're reading that?
A lot goes through my mind, right? A lot of it is true, what they're sending. A lot of it I don't agree with. And then, yeah, I mean, it's a lot to take in for sure. And usually, at least, you know, a few years ago, like it'd be very difficult for me to, you know, express myself in those situations. I wasn't very good at expressing my emotions. And yeah, it's just very uncomfortable for sure. Especially when you don't want to hurt that person and you know that they're really hurt and that alone hurts you. So it's very uncomfortable. for sure.
Have you ever been in a situation where like you're with your girlfriend, your significant other, and they're more into you than you are into them, and you don't know how to approach that? Like, how do you handle a situation like that?
You're asking the tough questions. My God.
I want to know the
Because
answers.
I feel like I've always heard is like
Jesus.
the guy should love you or like you a little bit more than you like them, because that's when they're
From
going to
your
treat
mom?
you like a princess.
Because that's what my mom tells me
Yeah,
too.
I've heard it from like different places.
Yeah,
Man,
that is-
that's a tough question. I feel like I've always been in both of my serious relationships. I feel like I've been the one that has been liked more and has, put in the least amount of effort for sure.
So fucked up.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's fucked up. It is. But you grow from that.
Yeah, you
And then
learn.
You learn.
But does that hurt you? Like knowing that? Obviously,
Oh,
it's
hell yeah.
But how long did it take you to realize that and process that?
30 years.
Years.
Well, you mean in each individual relationship
Yeah.
or you mean as a whole?
As a whole.
Not long. It doesn't take too long. I mean, when you know, you know. When you know, you know.
Does it take one person, one type of like emotion towards a particular person to make you realize that?
Not a particular emotion. I've always said it's kind of a culmination of things. It's not one thing. It's very difficult for me to pinpoint it. For me, I've always said it's a feeling. It's how they make me feel, how I feel with them. Do I feel safe? Do I have fun with them? Do I want to be with them 24/7? If I start realizing, I want a long time, I'd rather be on my own. That's when I start realizing, okay, this might not be the person. Especially now that I'm dating, at least dating intentionally, that's when I realize it. But yeah, there's always, in a relationship, there's always going to be somebody that likes someone else, someone more than the other. It happens, which is kind of sad, but.
Yeah, that is
If you
sad.
think
It is
about
sad. It is really sad. You're a little quiet over there.
No, I'm just like processing.
This is her therapy
I'm
session.
processing information.
She's taking notes on her computer. So I wanted to ask, I have so many questions.
Oh God. Look at the
for
questions you're
me,
asking.
for me, love, the word love, obviously it means different things in different situations. Like my love towards my mom is not the same love that I have towards Jen.
Yeah, to
the
her
love
friends,
towards
yeah.
Jen is not the same that I have towards my significant other. How do you define love, and how do you know when you're in love versus you love someone? Like, what's that difference for you?
Selflessness, 100%. Selfishness goes out the door. Out the door. And I know because I've been selfish in my relationships. And I can see that, and I'm ashamed of it. I felt very guilty, super ashamed of it. But like I said, you grow from that, you look back, and you're like, wow. But it's 100% selflessness. It's not about you. When you really like someone, you might not even be in love with them, but when you really like them and you want to make something work with them and see them as a future partner in the long run, long term, it's about making sure that you meet their needs first.
That's deep.
That is deep.
That's hard to find.
How long did it take for you to say I love you in your last relationship? Or did you ever say it?
I think she said, I love you. Yeah, I did say it for sure. Yeah. I think she said I love you like 6-7 months in, and I probably followed a few months down the line, maybe.
So they've always been like the girl saying it first?
No, the first relationship, I said it first.
But like when you were younger.
I was young, yeah.
Yeah,
I, mean,
I feel like
that
those
doesn't
really
count,
don't
right?
count.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
They
But it
don't
was a
count.
long
Yeah.
relationship, 6 years.
Okay,
It starts counting.
So wait, this last relationship, when she said I love you, you didn't say it right back? It took you a few like months after that?
Yeah.
How did she take that? How did she
Yeah.
react?
Well, she knew I didn't want to commit. It was kind of a situationship, a very long situationship that kind of turned into a full-blown relationship because it lasted a good like 2.5, 3 years, and it was very on and off.
Yeah.
And it was pretty toxic. So, yeah.
Because that to me is the toughest part. Like I've been in a situation like that where I tell someone I love them and they're like,
Yeah, that's rough. Yeah.
I care about you.
Yeah.
That should hurt.
That is
Because
rough.
then you get in your head and you're like,
Yeah.
damn, like I'm not good enough.
100%. Yeah.
Like why do I lack that this person doesn't love me when
Yeah.
I love them?
And it's natural
But you
to feel
gotta
that.
take into consideration that person's personality too. Some people
Yeah.
are dry. Some people are not lovey-dovey.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it really depends. On the
But then
person.
you like fast forward, same guy. They give the world to like a random girl they met
Yeah.
at 11 or something.
How do you laugh at how she was in the stripper?
But it wasn't a girl from. I mean, I don't know where he met her, but
Yeah.
literally he met her, and right off the bat, it was just like this romantic love story. And I'm just like, damn, like he could barely invite me out to dinner.
Yeah.
You know?
Because you just weren't the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not the one for everyone.
Yeah,
and that's okay.
Yeah.
And that's
Exactly.
totally
So
fine.
that leads on to my next question. Dating in Miami.
Oh God.
You know,
it's rough.
You hear all these love stories of like people that go up north to like study and go to college and they find the love of their life.
But what if you don't go up north and you stay here?
We stayed here, and like dating, I've been lucky enough to find amazing guys to date in Miami, and I'm not like a serial dater. When I have my relationship,
I hate dating.
Yeah.
Hate it.
No, I know you do.
Fucking hate it. With
But
all my heart.
I've always had long-term relationships. But my friends, you know, like I hear horror stories about like dating out in Miami and getting catfished. And
There's scammers everywhere.
Scammers and just. Do you speak Spanish? Yeah,
Sí.
obviously.
Yeah.
El interés de la gente.
Yeah, muy
That people have
interesados,
a hidden agenda.
100%. Yeah.
How do you manage to date in Miami? Obviously, like you're actively dating and intentionally. So how do you know like when a person is being real, when a person is being intentional?
Especially for guys.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of girls out there that are interesadas.
Yeah. And trust issues too, because I have major trust issues, and I think it's because of the type of person that we're raised to be here in this city. Like not raised, but like the stories we hear and like the culture in our city.
Yeah.
My trust issues come from that, from the things I see out. I see someone I know that's in a relationship with someone else, and it's like, oh, no one's saying anything.
Yeah.
It's like we're all like
Yeah.
cool, but it's like
Didn't
fucked
see
up.
anything.
I go home and then I overthink, because then I'm like, what if my boyfriend is doing that to me too?
Yeah.
Because it's so chill. How do you feel about that as a guy?
Well, dating in Miami is definitely tough, but I'm going to preface everything I'm going to say. I'm going to preface with saying that I still do believe there's a lot of great people out here. There is, because I've met them. I meet them, and just hasn't worked out. And like I said, I've only been dating intentionally for like 4 or 5 months, maybe. But there are a lot of great people out there. But agreed, it's a city that's very superficial. People are looking for the wrong things, and there's so many options because Miami, it's not like dating in Alabama.
Yeah, everyone's the same.
Your neighbor, you could date your neighbor in that city. Your
like, do
neighbor
your
probably
research.
has like 5 brothers, so you can see what brother you want.
They might even be your cousin.
Yeah. And there's a lot of good looking people out here. There
Yeah.
is, women and men.
It's actually, I feel like more like pretty girls than guys. Like, it's because girls are so fake these days. Like, you could get
Yeah.
anything fixed. So it's
Yeah.
hard.
Well, that, and I feel like there's so many different cultures that you can
Yeah.
pick
Yes.
from any.
Oh,
you
yeah.
want an
Literally any
Italian,
culture.
there's an Italian.
Yeah.
A Brazilian,
100%.
Brazilian. Venezuelan, Venezuelan. There's everything here.
Yeah.
The New Yorkers, they're here too.
Yeah.
All sorts
Yeah.
of options.
Don't give me that face. I don't want shit. Don't
Well,
give me that fucking face.
what are you thinking? Like, what are you processing right now?
Just quiet processing.
But why? Like, do you, like as I'm feeling talkative today.
You are. Wow. It's
I
the
love it, I love
Celsius.
it.
It's the
It's a
Celsius.
Celsius, and
I haven't
honestly,
had a Celsius in a minute. It's the Celsius in here
I
right
think
now.
obviously like in college, I think college is really when you start realizing how serious relationships are. Cause like in high school you like start, getting those feelings
Yeah,
and
but
like
high school was like whack.
yeah, but in college that's when I was really like, okay, like people are starting to move out together. Like, I don't know.
It never
got
really
more
hit me in college at all.
Really?
I was living my best life.
I think the reason why it hit me in college is because I had several friends that got engaged while we were in college, and I was like, oh my God, it's happening.
Yeah.
And
Could be.
I'm 30, you're 32, right?
31.
31, you're
29.
almost there. We're at an age where we open up our Instagram feed and it's either a baby, a pregnancy announcement, an engagement, a wedding.
It's annoying because like you kind of feel some pressure.
Of course.
Even though you don't have a timeline.
well, the
you feel
older you
pressure.
get, the more pressure. Because right now it's like I still live at home, and it's like there's nothing wrong with living at home, you
At
know.
all, yeah,
But at the
same.
same time, like seeing all these like friends of mine from high school move on and go on to their second kid, go on to like from a divorce to a new marriage, like, and I'm just here
That's
like
rough. From a
like,
divorce
How
at
should
30?
how should I paint my nails?
Yeah.
You know. So
Yeah.
how is it for a guy to like see that on your social feed, like see all your boys that you used to go to the strip club with, or like out
they're all
partying
fucking
with,
married now.
married, tied
expecting,
down.
Yeah.
Mhm. How does that feel as a guy? Because as a girl, it feels great.
Yeah.
But
That's a great question too. I like these questions. I think for men it's a little different because if we're honestly speaking, we have more time.
Yeah, 100%. You guys don't have a timeline.
There's no timeline here.
No.
You know, we're
You can still have kids at like 50.
yeah, no, 50, 60.
Yeah, 60, yeah.
I mean,
But-
look at this
But-
actor guy, De Niro. Or whatever
Yeah,
his
I
name is.
know. Fucking
Oh
at
my
80,
God,
70
yeah.
something.
It's
Dude,
Ese
that's
es
too
mis
much.
abuelo.
That's too much.
Good for him, though.
Oh man. But at first for me, I did feel pressure. I did because, you know, you see your friends getting married, having kids, and you want that too, right? Every man wants a family. Every man wants a good woman. Most men want children of their own, right? So yes, I did feel pressure, but I think as you grow, as you mature, and as you find the right things and the right, ways to cope, it starts getting easier because then you start realizing, I'll get there. You know, I'm not in a rush. I'm not in a hurry. It'll be easier to find someone actually when you're older because you have women that are getting older that are trying to settle down with a good man.
Yeah.
And, those women
The
are going to be looking for
intentions
someone.
match up.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. The intentions match. Yeah. So yeah, there is some pressure for sure. But if I'd love to know how you guys feel from a woman's perspective, because I always think, women are on a timeline because if you want to have children, you can have children up until, what X amount, whatever age. I'm not exactly sure, but you don't want to have kids too old either.
It's about your cycle. Like you just don't produce as much eggs anymore.
Exactly.
Like your ovulation days, which is a period that you can get pregnant, it literally decreases.
Mm-hmm.
Like my freaking ring tracks it, and every day keeps decreasing. I'm
aura.
like, fuck. The aura tells you like your days are decreasing. I'm like, shit.
If your days are
Goddamn.
decreasing, then I'm like 100 steps.
Literally, like
ahead
it's
of you.
fucking insane.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely scary.
Yeah.
And for me, at least, I feel the most pressure from my family, especially my grandma. She's like, yo quiero un bisnieto.
Oh,
And
no,
I'm
I
the
don't have
oldest.
that. Thank God. Like,
Bisnieto.
And I'm the
family doesn't
oldest.
pressure me.
I'm the oldest. So like my grandma's just like, mi sueño es tener un bisnieto antes de que me muera. Yo conocí
how old is Granny?
Bro, she's like 78.
Oof.
But like she comes, okay, like listen. She married my grandfather at like 14. Like she had like that's all she knows.
Yeah.
Wow.
So she doesn't understand the dating culture here. And neither does my mom. Like their dating culture is very different than ours. Like they don't understand the whole talking period. Son novio o no son novio.
Yeah.
Eso es el amiguito, no. Like they don't get it. So I feel like that puts more pressure on me, especially now because my mom follows all my friends and they're like, ¿viste? Está embarazada con el segundo hijo. ¿Viste? Ah, tú vas a salir hoy. Es miércoles. Tú no trabajas mañana. So it's like, it feels more and more like pressure. And it's in a subtle way, but I know that they're waiting on me.
Yeah.
So as a woman, it's like, okay, my time clock is ticking, like how you said. But planning a wedding doesn't take 2 days. Finding the love of your life doesn't take 2 days.
Yeah.
Like
And you can't just settle either.
Marriage is a serious commitment.
You got to get to
Yeah.
know them. It's not just
Yes.
finding them. It's
Yeah.
getting
Like
to know
this
them.
is someone you're raising a child with
Yeah.
in the future. So it's a lot of pressure, I think,
Yeah.
as a woman, making that right decision. Because like we also don't want to get married to get divorced like a year or two in.
That's just expensive too. Like,
It's expensive, and honestly, it's emotionally draining to go
Yeah.
through a divorce.
It's worse than a breakup because you have like let's say you have kids involved.
Yeah, it's
You have
illegal.
property,
It's a
you have
legal
everything's
breakup.
illegal. Yeah,
It's a legal
documents,
breakup.
everything in the middle.
So
Yeah.
I think as a woman, it's a little bit more stressful since we care more about those things.
Yeah.
Like having the perfect wedding, and for a guy, it's just like, oh, it's a party. Like
Yeah.
I mean, there are guys that care about those things, but for the most part, at least the guys that I've dated, it's not their priority.
Yeah.
So as a woman, it's stressful because it's like I'm 30, meeting someone takes a few years, planning a wedding, getting engaged takes another few years. I'm gonna get married at 43 at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's the
100%.
reality of things. And then, like I said, you compare yourself.
Yeah. But then again,
So-
like you can't really get like in your head about all
No,
of that.
of course not. But
gotta let
there's
it be.
moments.
Yeah, you can't do that because then you'll end up settling, and that's
Yeah.
the worst thing you can do. Right? I'd rather be
Exactly.
alone than settle.
Which I think that's why so many
that person's gonna
marriages
push you
fail.
back in life.
So
like,
many marriages fail because of that.
Exactly,
Because
yeah.
they settled. They found someone okay, and they're like, you know what, I'm good. We'll make
and
it
I
happen.
also feel like it's easier to find someone when you, let's say, like you don't have a kid involved, right? Like you're going to be not a single mother, like you without a kid, then as a single mother, I feel like they'll be a little bit harder.
Of course, it's a
Yeah,
little bit
for
harder.
sure.
That's someone that your partner's going to be responsible for.
Yeah.
It's a
eventually.
deal breaker for a lot of guys. It's a
Exactly.
deal breaker for me. So
Exactly. Yeah, I don't want a built-in family.
I think it's a deal breaker for girls too, but depending on the person. Because I believe in love at first sight. So if like, you know, like kind of like what happened in Love is Blind. Jess, I think her name was,
Okay,
didn't,
Jess.
you watched the last season?
Yes.
She didn't choose to share that she had a daughter until a
Later
few
on.
dates later.
Correct.
Because she didn't want to be judged for having a daughter. And it's like, if you meet someone and you fall in love, and then down the road that's a breaking factor, then this person was never going to love you.
Yeah. But I feel like in that case, it's a little bit different too, because that daughter's old enough. Like
Yeah.
that
She
daughter's
was
not.
like 10, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not like a baby
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
or
baby's different.
toddler.
Baby's
Like
different.
it's different.
But man, when you
It's
love
like
someone,
saying
I
right
think-
now, let's say we get a divorce at like 40 and we find love again. By that time, we already have our kids. That
gonna go to
person
the
probably
Golden
has kids
Bachelorette?
again. No, but that person probably has kids too. So you just meshed with families.
Yeah.
It's different.
it's different. It's like
At that point in life, it's different.
I do think you should be honest up front about that, though.
Yeah,
like you would say that on your first date.
Yes.
yeah. If you had a kid,
I think that's something that you say on the first date. Like, it's one of those things you have to mention on the first date for sure. Because it's something that could be a deal breaker for someone, no matter how much they like you, how beautiful they find you. How,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
that's a deal breaker for
I
many
actually
people.
dated the only guy I dated in college. He had a little girl. He was a dad.
And
He
you met
became a
her?
dad at 17. No, I never
Wow.
met her. Became a dad at 17.
That's the thing. There's a lot of people our age now that have full grown kids.
Yeah,
It's true.
that's insane to me.
Like they're 12, 13.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
When did you have this baby?
That's so crazy.
How do you think, at least like, you know, you meet this person, they have a kid. Do you feel like, I mean, I don't know if you've ever been in this position or not, but that'll make it even harder to break up with this person if it's not going to work out, because now there's another person's
Kid
feelings involved. Because kids grow to love partners too. I had
Yeah,
a
they get
friend that
attached,
dated
yeah.
a guy with a son, and I think the son was more hurt with the breakup than the dad.
Yeah.
So it's like, do you think that's like why that's a breaking factor for you, like as a guy, or is it just a bunch of little things?
No, not really. I haven't been in that situation, at least not seriously dating. Casually dating, yes, of course, but you know, I haven't gotten close to the child.
The child.
100%, no.
That's scary.
But that
That
wouldn't
is
be.
scary.
Yeah, it is. Is that you get attached? It
Yeah,
happens.
that'll
naturally.
break your heart even
Yeah,
more.
Exactly. Yeah, but no, I just don't want to be a stepdaddy. If I'm honest,
And you have to
I
deal
want
with
my
the
own
baby
children.
daddy.
Yeah. No.
Talking about being a stepdaddy, the daddy subject in Miami, sugar daddies. How do you feel about Miami being the headquarters of Sugar Daddy Central, OnlyFans Central? How do you feel about the whole topic about, you know, dating an OnlyFans model? Or maybe dating someone that has a sugar daddy on the side? Because I know a lot of girls that have sugar daddies but are still actively dating for someone they actually, you know, have true feelings for. How do you feel about that?
I mean, to each their own, but definitely not something I'd mess with.
You wouldn't get like entangled in
Absolutely not.
Would you date someone who has an OnlyFans?
Hell no.
why?
Wait, what if you don't find this out until like a few dates in?
Or is this something they need to share
No,
right
I mean,
off the bat?
there's no way I'm not
So
gonna
when
find.
she's like very suspicious because she has a nice bag, she has a nice apartment, and this shit is just not adding up for you.
You know what? The thing is that when you're dating, these OnlyFans models have a look. Is that you almost already know that they have an OnlyFans, especially if you're dating online.
What's the look?
It's the page, the way they look. Like if you're on a dating app, you kind of already know. You go in and then they have the link, the link link. They already have it up there, so it's not like, you know, that you don't know it's there.
On the dating apps?
Well, not on the dating apps, but they have their IG handle, and then on the Instagram, it's the link tree.
They're
And then
recruiting clients.
You see link tree?
Interesting.
You see that? 100% OnlyFans. I don't even
I have
open
a
it anymore. I'm
link
like,
tree
oh,
and
God.
I don't have OnlyFans.
And they do it. They do it to market themselves. They're not
Yeah.
actually out there looking for someone. Most of them aren't. You know,
Yeah.
they want to market their OnlyFans. You
I
know,
didn't think about it that way.
100%. You see it all the time on online dating.
Interesting. Have
Yeah.
you had any like horror stories on on like Hinge online dating or anything?
No, honestly, thankfully, I haven't had horror stories. I mean, the only horror story I would say, it's not really a horror story, is that I get there and I'm like, wow, I really hate this state. I want to go home so bad. Like I've thought about just leaving, like ghosting and leaving, but you know, I don't have the balls to do that.
Why did you hate
It's
it?
kind of fucked up.
So you're just clouded.
So I'm just there like laughing, cracking jokes, and then just getting as drunk as I can. I'm like, let me get the fuck out of here. As soon as
Why did you hate it so much?
Well, there's been a few, but I
I can imagine you.
yeah, I just didn't click with the girl. I didn't like her.
God.
I went on a date with this French girl, right? Like she was from France. She had just gotten here a few months ago. And this girl arrived to the date smoking a cigarette. I was like,
French.
nah,
She's very
there is
French.
no fucking way. She literally pulled up with a cigarette in her mouth and then smoked like 3 more throughout the date. So that was one of the dates that I was like, I need to get the fuck out of here ASAP.
Wait, what was the conversation?
We spoke about like her living in France, her parents. She was a musician, so she
Okay.
played a lot of guitar. We spoke about music.
Gives me hippie vibes.
Yeah. The date lasted like an hour and a half, and I think she could feel that I wasn't into her. I mean, I could feel it in my own body language. I was just like trying to get away from her.
Did she try texting you after that date?
No, I never texted her again.
Okay,
And she never-
it's
never
probably
reached out.
mutual
No.
then.
Yeah. It was
No,
mutual.
she never reached out. I never reached out to her, and that was it.
So during first dates, do you feel like, let's say you are vibing with this person, there's been a lot of people like online talk that is like, oh, keep the date to 1 hour, like 2 hours max, and that's it. Like have dinner and leave. Do you like to continue, like have dinner and then have another activity?
I usually always continue.
Okay.
It usually always pans out that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
For
do you
sure.
plan for it before or it's spontaneous?
No,
It
it's
just-
spontaneous. Dinner, and then, if there's a bar around, we'll go to a bar, keep talking there. If the date is good, it usually lasts longer. I think I don't know. I don't like just going to dinner for an hour and a half and then going home.
It's
It kind
not
of feels
enough.
weird.
It's
It's
not-
not
Yeah,
enough.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's not
If
enough.
I like the person, I want to keep talking to them, and if they feel the same way, they're going to agree.
And see
You
them
know?
out in the wild.
Yeah, exactly.
just
That's how you see the
on a dinner date.
real personality.
I want to see a little more.
Have you been like catfished, or everyone kind of looks like their picture?
No, I've never been catfished. I've been on a date with a girl who's probably like 15, 20 pounds overweight, but not catfished.
Wait, so you knew this before, right?
No, but you can kind of tell because sometimes like a girl won't post for like 2 years, and I'm like, what happened there? Like in those next 2 years,
Like
you
she
know?
didn't post for 2 years?
Interesting.
Well, not her specifically, but I'm saying in generally, yeah.
Yeah, or the pictures are from like Europe or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. But they know their angles. Women know their angles.
Yeah, I've always known my
But
angles.
then I'm just like, fuck it, let's see. You never know.
Maybe she's thick.
Yeah, exactly.
But when you saw her for the first time, did you make a face? Like, did she
No.
know that you were like,
No, I didn't make a face. No, I'm not that much of an asshole. Like,
You
no,
kept
some people
on-
can't control their
Yeah,
faces.
or some
No.
people disappear. I've
Yeah.
heard those stories.
no, I didn't make a face. I mean, it wasn't that bad either. But that's happened to me like twice, for sure.
So question. Let's say you're like 6 months into dating someone, you're really feeling this person, and then she comes to you and she's like, oh, I'm having, a change of heart for career. I want to quit my full-time job and become an OnlyFans model. And I have like a good possibility. No, but she's serious. Like
Yeah,
she has
she's
like,
serious.
she has a production team in line and she's like, babe, like nothing, it's just business, it's work, and her plan makes sense and she shows it to you, she's open with you. Would you be okay with that? Or that would be like a deal breaker for you, even though you're like madly in love 6 months in?
That's crazy. that hypothetical is
crazy.
nuts. Oh my god.
These are the things I think about.
Oh my god.
What the fuck
You
is
imagine,
in your
I'm
mind?
I'm in love with this girl, and she just wakes up one day and says, I want to have an OnlyFans. Like, that'll hurt.
And
I'm
like in-
tired
and
of
like-
working
wait,
my
but
9 to
like-
5.
And in her plan, it's like, babe, like if this goes as planned, like in a year, you don't have to work. Like I fully got it.
And
don't-
then
would
would
that
you
be-
become like her videographer?
Her manager.
Her manager.
No, that's a turn
Her
off.
pimp.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I'd rather just tell her, hey, I'm going to work my ass off to make sure that you don't have to.
I'm going to open up an OnlyFans.
Por vender el culo.
To pay for all of us.
No.
It's crazy though, because some of these girls are banking.
Yeah.
And,
oh,
and
hell yeah.
it's insane.
Yeah.
But then again, I always think like, how do you find so many subscribers and viewers? Like, isn't that the same thing as becoming an influencer on Instagram? Like working towards
Maybe you
the
have a pimp or you have someone that markets your shit. Like, you don't know.
Men need to stop paying for all of that shit. That's the problem that men are paying for.
Yeah.
You guys need to stop. Please stop. Stop paying
They're
for
making them
women's
so rich.
OnlyFans.
Making them
Yeah.
so rich.
Exactly. Like you're paying for a picture. Go on Pornhub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
And for someone you probably won't ever meet.
Exactly. People sending them money. Like, what is, you don't know this person. How can you be doing? There's men out there who are doing that. It's
Oh,
disgusting, in
100%.
my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they can
crazy.
send coins and like little rewards and stuff.
Yeah. It's like, what? But yeah, that's why women are doing it. And that's why, we're losing our values as a society.
Yeah,
It's true.
it is true.
Do you feel like in relationships you future trip or the girls does?
What was that?
Do you future trip like during relationships? Like think about the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
But like, what about the future do you think about?
Can I raise kids with them? Do our values align? you know, yeah, it's mostly about that. It's about, can I marry her? Is this somebody I see myself for the rest of my life? Do they make me happy? You know,
I think I have a good question that kind of it comes from that financial advisor episode we had. What do you think about splitting the bills, you know, with your significant other, especially if maybe she makes more money than you or you make more money than her? How do you think that the bills should be split up?
I think it depends on the relationship. If the woman is working, she has no children, then I do think she should, you know, help out in some form for sure. If she's taking care of the kids, I got her 100%. If she's my wife, she's the mother of my children, she takes care of the kids, she's a good mother, she's a good loyal wife, I have no problem with taking care of her, you know. In that sense, men want to provide. But men don't want to provide for someone that, you know, isn't worth it either, you know. So if you have somebody coming in and they're working, then, you know, I don't see why they can't hold up their end of the bargain. It doesn't have to be 50-50, but at least bring something to the table.
So you don't think it should be 50-50? It should be based on, like, you know, how much
salary, based on the salary.
Yeah.
Okay. What if you're dating someone and they're just like, you know, like, I want to pursue this career for the next 2 years. I'm not going to have any sort of income, but this is like her dream. Would you stand by her side and like financially support her for 2 years, or it'll kind of be just a breaking factor?
Yes. If it's the woman I want to marry and I know for a fact that she feels the same way about me, 100%.
So ultimately, it just falls on the woman.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
it's all about the woman.
It's all the woman.
It's about
yeah.
her. It's about her. And a man knows. A man knows when a woman is for you, and a man knows what a woman is for the streets. A man knows if
What are the signs?
No, I mean, I can't get into the, you know, the nitty gritty like that.
No, get into the nitty gritty. Brush up
know.
on the nitty gritty.
Men know, like, there's, you know, men know.
Interesting.
It's a deep conversation.
Very deep. Okay. We're learning.
I have more questions. So for us women, it's so important, you know, our appearance. And like, if my lashes are done, my eyebrows, my hair, my lip filler, blah, 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 whatever. Do guys really care about that stuff?
I don't think so.
Does it make a difference?
Great question. Personally speaking, I don't care about that at all. I'm a very simple guy. Like, when it comes to a woman, I like simple makeup. I don't like the whole like exotic look. Like, that's not for me. I like my woman simple. I like her to feel comfortable in her own skin. So no, that is not important to me at all. 100%, not at all.
But is this a thing that you overhear, like maybe with the boys? Like, are there certain guys that care about these things that they're like, oh no, dude, like that girl's nails are crusty, or her lashes look like whack. Like, is this
her nails are crusty?
Yeah, or her shoes don't match like with her purse.
No, I don't think so. I mean, that's not. I mean, we'll make fun of things, you know. Just like women will make fun of men for.
You're like, damn, her lashes are fucked up.
Yeah. I mean, their lashes are too long.
That guy's fade is ugly, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
wonder who his barber is.
Exactly.
Damn, they fucked his ass up.
But I think I don't know. I feel like my circle, at least, most men aren't really looking for that. Like,
Yeah.
we don't care about that. We just want a good, loyal woman
Yeah.
that we're in love with, and they're in love with us.
Yeah.
It's
not that hard to ask.
It's not that
Nothing
hard.
too hard to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just the bare minimum. It doesn't have to be. You don't have to flaunt. You know.
Yeah. And I feel like, why do we feel there's pressure to flaunt
Instagram.
I know.
when Instagram?
Instagram.
You know what I've realized as we've gotten older? That I like fixing myself up for myself to feel comfortable when I go out.
Me too.
I've realized that. Before, a few years ago, I was doing it for other people because I wanted to like fit the standard and like if I'm going to Patio Wynwood, I have to wear a crop top because all the other girls there are wearing a crop top.
I gotta show cleavage.
Yeah, I can't wear my palazzo pants. That's like covering too much. So it's like a few years ago, it was that.
Yeah.
But now it's like I feel good when I like fix myself up. It's a plus.
Yeah.
If I have a wacko lash, I'm gonna be hard on myself. But I don't fix my lash for like
for anybody else.
anyone
yeah,
else on the street to be
myself.
like, damn, like
That's
her.
maturity
Yeah.
too. That's getting older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's loving yourself more, empathizing with yourself, self-love. So that's a huge factor.
Thank you. I'm working on myself.
You are working on yourself.
I
We're
just
proud
realized
of
my
you.
lashes are for myself, no one else.
Which they look on fleek because you just got them
Thank
done.
Yeah,
you.
they
I
do
just
look on
got them
fleek. They look
done.
very
I
nice.
just got
They-
them done
My
right now.
shit, I'm missing half an eye here from all the crying this week. I need to do them on Friday. They look so bad. They're like, And they're hard because like salty
Yeah.
tears. They get hard.
Yeah. No, when you cry and like it mixes with the glue, it like turns into a little
It is
pebble.
so
Little,
bad.
yeah, little balls.
And then it gets itchy. And you're
I'm
like,
missing literally half of an eye.
so talking about crying, what do you think, is not the right way, but like the mature way to like cope with heartbreak as a guy? Like, what's your advice for any guy that's going through a heartbreak right now?
And if a girl comes to you like she wants closure, would you give it to her?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's very important. And owning what you did wrong too, right? You don't want to be an ass and blame everything on her. You don't want to do that.
Do you feel like it takes you long to realize that though?
No.
No.
I mean, I feel like personally, I know when I fucked up, and I know what I've done that's been fucked up, and you want to own up to those things because I think that's important, right? And that gives them closure. Because a lot of women think, "Oh, am I the crazy one?" Like, no, like I fucked up too. You're not the one to blame here. You're not the only one to blame, at least. But just being honest and really letting go, truly letting go, because the whole toxic on and off thing, like, oh, that's exhausting.
Yeah,
that is emotionally exhausting, like so exhausting.
Yeah.
But it's
Would
hard to
you-
let go.
Would you give this closure or like break up in person or through text?
It's happened both, usually both. Because, it's not just a one-off thing. It's kind of rounds of these
Continuous.
things. There's rounds, round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Some rounds
Like
aren't
a boxing
Round
match.
five.
Yeah, it's like a boxing match. A 12
Here we
round
go
boxing
again.
match.
Let's try to break up one more time.
Yeah, exactly.
This time through text.
Yeah. But the final one, at least for my last relationship, X2, the last one was through text. Yeah, for sure.
So you just woke up and you're like, it's over?
No, it wasn't like that. We
It
had a
builds
fight
up?
before.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a huge buildup. We had a fight before, and then, things were said, and then we realized, hey, we have to stop this. Like, that's it. Enough is enough.
Do you think that once that happens, like that breakup, you need to, end all sort of contact, or is it okay to stay friends with the person or remain in contact?
Cut
Cool.
off everything. 100%.
Cold? I cannot do cold. I
rough.
cannot.
It's the only way.
But what if there's
I
friends
cannot.
involved? Mutual
You
friends.
figure it out. You go 3 months without seeing them. You go 3 months without seeing your friends, and until you're at at a place where you can start dating again, at least.
Download
and
Bumble
not feel
Friends.
terrible.
Meet a new set of friends.
Yeah. Or just go MIA. I did that last year after the few rounds of breakup. I did it, but we ended up together again.
So cutting it all off, it didn't really help. You cut it off, we give her the cold turkey, but still.
It's like the
We
3
went
months
back to
are
each
over.
other.
Now we can start
Yeah,
again.
yeah. Well, that's kind of how it was. Yeah. You got to cut it off. And that's something that's incredibly difficult to do because
I feel like that hurts more.
it hurts more at the beginning, but in the long run, it's the only way because otherwise you're just prolonging the hurt and the suffering, and it's not going to work. And deep down inside, there comes a point when it's not going to work. But it's so hard to let go that you're willing to accept the pain and suffering for a while until maybe there's a part of you that says maybe it'll work, but not really. You know what I mean? And so you just have to cut it off, and it's hard.
It's super hard because you get so attached to the person.
You
so
lose
it's
a
like,
best friend.
It's
It's literally a fucking best friend.
a best friend, a family member.
Yeah, you grieve.
Yeah, you agree.
It's a grieving process, and you're grieving. Exactly, it's a family member. You're losing someone that knows your deepest, darkest secrets and knows everything about you, and knows who you are. So,
It's really sad.
but
It's very sad.
it's sad, yeah. But there's a lot more people out there that you can build that same connection with. That is just not the person.
The next relationship will be even better.
It's just hard
100%.
starting from zero.
It is. It is. But it's worth
Like,
it.
I don't want to fucking go through the 25 questions again. I'm fucking
Yeah.
tired of that shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's just fucking annoying.
It's worth it. It'll always be worth it because when you do find the right person, then you're gonna look back and be like, "Thank God that shit didn't work." It always works out that way. That's the only way it works out.
Yeah, that's true. What's your biggest takeaway, like, in your past relationships?
My biggest takeaway.
Yeah. What have you learned from them?
My biggest takeaway. Wow, nobody's asked that before.
Was it like, it could be like personal growth in a way?
Yeah. Well, there's definitely been a ton of personal growth. The personal growth came, after the relationships ended or during as well, during the second one. Biggest takeaway is know when to walk away. sometimes you stay longer than you should. And again, that you're just hurting yourself. You're hurting yourself. So know when to walk away. 100%.
Which is the hardest part.
Which is always the hardest part.
Would you ever consider going on a show like The Bachelor or like Love is Blind? Maybe Fuckboy Islands?
No, hell no.
Was that too hot to handle?
It's kind of like too hot to handle.
No. Love is blind, yeah, but I'd be scared if I get paired with, like, I don't know, you know, somebody I really don't like. And then I can't hide that. Like, if I really don't like you at all.
I feel like you'll pull through, like Jimmy. I feel like you would be Jimmy. Yeah. You would pull through until the last thing.
Oh my God. No, is that honestly, like, that would be one of the scariest things ever.
Yeah, that show's scary.
Out on La Vuelta, and I see there, like, I'm just like, oh God, what am I getting myself into? Oh, Jesus.
That is scary. I wouldn't be able to do that show.
I get nervous for them.
No.
I know. I wouldn't be able to.
How about The Bachelor?
No. Love is blind, I think I would do, but not The Bachelor.
Why? Or like, why not The
Dating
Bachelor?
all those women at a time? That's a lot.
No, but
It's a
like
lot.
you going on The Bachelorette.
Oh, as one of the guys.
Yeah. You have to do that before you can be The Bachelor.
You have to do that before being
Yeah.
The Bachelor?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, me either. I
Yeah.
didn't know
Usually
that
The
either.
Bachelor and The Bachelorette come from like the previous season.
Actually, yeah, fuck it. I'll do that. I'd do that.
Okay, why
Yeah.
did you just change your mind?
Well, because I
He thought he was gonna be the main guy with all the girls. Now you got one girl in
so if I gotta go,
competition as
go
guys.
through that to get to that, then well, I gotta do what I gotta do.
But do you believe in that type of you know, way of meeting someone?
In a way, it's like fast dating.
Yeah,
too.
it's like speed dating. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't see anything wrong with it. I really don't.
And you'd be okay with like being that vulnerable on like national television?
Now, at this point in my life, yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'd be okay. I'd be okay with being that vulnerable for sure. Yeah.
I feel like I'm an emotional disaster, so I wouldn't be able to like control my emotions in like that type of settings. Like I
You'd
wouldn't be able
probably
to.
be like one of the stars of the season.
Yeah,
That's
from all
usually
crying.
There's always one. There was this one girl one season, Ashley, who was known for crying. Like he would literally look at her for 3 seconds. She'd be like, hey, 3 seconds.
What the fuck?
She's now married with 2 kids.
Oh my God.
That's
with
so
someone she
crazy.
met on like the continuous show of The Bachelor.
Oh shit!
Damn, dude, this has been a really good like talk. I feel like
Yeah.
I've learned. I feel like a guy now. I'm
They
ready
know
to
what's
go
in their
conquer.
mind.
Now I know when someone's on my age, probably because they're like
grieving.
going through a heartbreak. They're grieving.
Oh,
But like,
yeah,
how
for
long
sure.
is that grieving process?
It depends. If you're going about it in an unhealthy way, yeah, it lasts some time. Otherwise, I mean, it depends on the dynamics of the relationship too. You know, how long you were together. It takes time. It takes months for sure. It takes months, but it gets easier.
I'm like weak.
I have a question.
A week. Please take a week.
When you start dating someone, how soon are you okay with them posting you or you posting them? Like, when's the right time to announce that you're in a relationship?
I'm not sure. I haven't gone there yet.
You've never posted a relationship?
Well, my 2 previous exes, yeah.
How
Well,
long
actually,
did it
no. The
take?
second one I didn't post at all.
Why? You didn't feel the need, or you
We
were
weren't
like
committed.
scared
I wasn't
to-
committed. Yeah, I wasn't committed to her.
But you were boyfriend girlfriend.
Not really. No.
But you
So you
consider
never
it a
brought her into the
relationship?
family?
No.
No.
Do you regret that or no?
No.
You don't think it would have made a difference?
I don't. No, I don't think it would have made it.
I feel like that hurts too.
Our
Yeah.
values didn't align, so that was the most important thing. I really don't think they did, and yeah.
I feel like that hurts too. Like if the person comes to the family.
Of course.
Oh yeah, that makes everything.
Because then there's so many more opinions involved.
You tangle the web.
It's like a triple breakup after. Like you have to break up with the mom, the
And
dad, the
yeah,
brother,
yeah.
the sister.
That is so true. We laugh now, but that's tough.
It's
20 breakups.
Jeez.
We have a big ass
I get
family.
excited when they don't have like a big family. I'm like, perfect.
I have a huge family, so
That's
imagine.
bad.
Oh my God.
It's really fucking
And your
bad.
family is like very loving and welcoming, so that's
Yeah.
even harder. And like, I guess is it more intimidating as a guy when you date a girl that has a family that embraces you right off the bat?
No, I don't think that's intimidating. I think that's awesome. At least for me personally, I think it's awesome.
I wish
I
more
love big
guys were
families.
like you.
I love big
Seriously.
families. Yeah.
He's super nice.
I feel like I've dated a couple of guys that were terrified of meeting my family.
Really?
Really?
Because I feel like that's solidified. Like, okay, like this is real.
And beta
now.
serious, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's because they were dating with the wrong intentions.
Yeah, I mean, that's,
100%.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
If they didn't want to meet your family, that's because
yeah. No, they met the family. I forced
they
them.
forced
I
them.
forced them.
But that's not good either. That's horrible.
So each their own, right?
Yeah. Hey, he willingly went, so.
No.
No, she dragged his ass there. If you
We're
don't go
going to a
nice
nice
No.
dinner spot. We're going to a really nice dinner spot.
he walks in and it's like the whole family sitting
So,
down.
hey, este el amiguito.
Oh
El amiguito. And that's how you
That is
present him. El
hilarious.
amiguito.
My mom has always referred to all my boyfriends as mi amiguito.
Yeah.
To this day.
To this
El
day,
amiguito.
there's
Los
never
primos que se
been one.
primen.
El amiguito.
There's never been one that she's been like, that's my like your boyfriend.
No, she will refer to them as mi amiguito until she refers to them by their name. And she never gets the name right. Never. Even if it's the
that's
most Cuban name, she still won't get it
funny.
right.
That's hilarious.
I dated this guy called Patrick, and she called him Pati. Pati.
She just gave him a little nickname.
Everyone was okay with it. Yeah.
Oh,
My
that's
little
funny.
cousin's boyfriend is Xavier, and she calls him like X. X.
X, because you spell it with an X.
Yeah, but she can just say it Javier. Like that's literally how his
X.
parents call him Javier.
Your mom is just special.
Special.
Yeah.
How's that topic for a guy, like parents-in-law? Like, is that a scary like situation when you're meeting the dad for the first time?
Yeah. What goes
or,
through your
like-
head?
It's not scary to me.
No.
Personally, it's not scary. It's natural.
Do you have boys that like don't get along with their parents-in-law?
I don't think so. Not that I can think of it right now. No, not really.
I have a couple of friends that like don't get along with their parents-in-law, and it's a
Really?
problem, especially now with kids involved.
Oof. Yeah,
'Cause then-
that's rough.
Kids and like holiday parties and stuff. Like that's a
Obviously, and it's just and the problem usually stems from the fact that like they'll want to be too involved,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's bad.
too involved.
That
And
is
that's
annoying.
taxing on the relationship. It takes a toll on the relationship.
Because it
course.
starts like arguments and stuff.
Yeah.
Unnecessary.
It's too many opinions, too many people like.
Yeah.
Yeah, in your business.
But that's a big part. Like, for example, for me, I come from my parents, well, not my dad, but my mom is very like, what's going on? Are you okay? What happened? Why? You know, like very involved. And in a way, it's like if I tell her to back off, then she gets hurt.
Yeah.
But then the person I'm in a relationship with, I feel like when the person, you know, that you're involved with and you're bringing into your family, like I always give them a little rundown. Hey, look, like this is how my mom is. Like, she doesn't mean it in a bad way, like, you know, kind of so that they know what they're stepping into. Because if you don't get that culture that we come from, like
Yeah.
if it's like some white dude that doesn't understand how Cubans are,
Yeah.
true,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
might be a little scared at first
Yeah,
because
for
it's like,
sure.
oh, whoa,
Yeah,
like
it's
my
intense.
mom barely
Yeah.
talks to me, like, you know, and
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different.
let me change the battery.
And I've only brought one person home. Never brought anyone. Mm-hmm.
That's the first guy.
Yeah, I've never brought anyone home.
Holy shit. I've only brought 2 women home too. So. Oh, actually, I lied. 1 woman. I didn't bring my second ex home. What am I saying? Yeah, if I bring a girl to meet my mom, that's because she's the next one.
I think you know, involving the family is important too. I think for me at least, like I always seek for their approval.
Why is that?
Not why? Because if I'm intentionally dating and I want to be something serious with this person ever, I want to make sure that my family approves. Like I don't want to bring someone who's like completely just off. And honestly, like I also feel like my mom has a really good like detector to know if the person's like.
She has detected everyone who
Yeah.
walks in through the door.
But you know, it's good. At least I do think it's important to bring home significant others home at a certain point after getting to know them and making it official, because you know that's if you're intentionally
gotta be
dating,
sure.
you have to be sure. You want to have that approval from the family because essentially this person could be the father of your parents' grandkids. You know, a new family member.
No, and seeing how they
So,
interact with your family, like, is so
For sure, important.
What about you? How has the interaction been when you've brought them home?
So I've only brought home my first ex. I've never brought a girl home. The next girl I bring home is the next one, like the next serious relationship.
Did your family say anything like, "Oh, I don't like her," or "Oh, I do like her"?
No, they loved her.
Loved her.
Yeah, she's an angel. Or it was an angel. I don't know her today, but no, they loved her. They loved her. She knows that. But I agree, though. I think it's important to get that sign off from your parents, or at least hope that they like them. Like, I guess in my family dynamic is a little different. Like, I'm not really seeking for their approval. They're going to be happy with whoever I'm happy with. But you're right, though. Sometimes parents can see things that you don't see.
Yeah.
They can spot things that maybe you're not seeing because you're blind, because you love this person so much.
Blinded, yeah.
You know? So I think it's important for them to meet them and, they give you their feedback for sure.
Stamp of approval.
Yeah, stamp of approval.
It's important. Do you have any regrets in your past relationships? Something that you could have done better?
You want to take that one first?
Me? I think the only regrets I have is maybe being a little bit over dramatic sometimes. But I say this now, like fast forward like 4 years later. Like, I never admitted right off the bat. But now as I get older and I reflect back on those relationships and how maybe I carried myself, maybe I can be a little bit dramatic, but I think that comes from a place of caring too much and having really high expectations instead of like toning it down a bit and realizing that not everyone thinks like me, and that's okay. You don't have to be with a person that's identical to you. If that person has a different mindset, view on things, opinion, then I should be okay with that if I truly love that person. And for me, my biggest regret is just nitpicking. That word. Nitpicking. My biggest, regret is just kind of picking the wrong fights.
Yeah.
And you realize that down the road, because when you're in it, you're like, not physically like screaming like that, but in my mind, it feels like that. And I let it like really bother me when it shouldn't bother me. Like, I should just learn how to listen and like take time to think before I react. And I've learned this throughout the years, and I think it's something I'm going to continue learning as I get older. But it comes from a place of being too passionate.
Passion is good though. Passion is good.
But it
for
can
the
be
right
bad.
person.
But it can be bad.
Yeah.
You have to learn how to control it.
Especially if they don't want it and you're coming on strong.
Yeah.
I'm just passionate.
Yes, I'm just passionate.
But you're right. Yeah. It's a balance.
That's my biggest regret.
Yeah. That's a good one though. Choosing your battles wisely. Because
And not overreacting, just learning how to listen.
Yes. Going 0 to 100
Accepting the
too
fact
quick.
that you're not the same.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Agreed. That's actually a great one. Yeah.
That is a good one.
I'm going to write a book. I'm not.
Oh man.
Your turn.
Oh, I have a lot of regrets.
Okay.
Yeah, I have plenty of them for sure. I think my biggest regret was not being a man in my previous relationships. Just, not knowing how to treat a woman, not knowing what it took to put a woman first. And, that comes with a lot. There's a lot, but it's painful when you look back and you're like, wow, like I really fucked up, or I could have done this, or I didn't do that. So yeah, I think not knowing how to be a man.
And you realize this after the relationship was over?
No, I realized it during the relationship too. Like I'd hate the person I see in the mirror. I'm like, I knew I was hurting her. I knew I was hurting myself, but I was a coward. I didn't let go when I should have. And yeah, it's tough. It's tough because you look back and you're like, that's not the person I am. Like you became something that you don't even recognize.
But it's a learning experience.
It's 100%.
And sometimes you need to feel that and go through that.
I feel like sometimes people are put in your life to like learn all of that and grow from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think every heartbreak has a purpose.
100%. And you need it. People need it. You need that. Some people at least. You need that.
Yeah.
You need the pain and the suffering
to
grow. Yeah, you do. You got it.
Quiero.
It's important. That's the only way you're going to grow.
Yeah,
that's the only way you're going to grow.
And the only way you're going to realize what you truly want and what's worth it.
True.
Yeah.
Because some battles are not worth it.
Yeah.
It's like, why am I wasting my time? Yeah. But then there's others that are like, okay, like this sucks, but I'm going to stick it through. I'm going to talk about it and we're going to figure out a way.
Yeah.
And those are the ones that really teach you.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't, but it's better to try and like leave with with a clear mind, knowing that you tried.
Yes, 100%. Leaving with peace is the greatest thing, because I didn't walk away with peace.
Yeah.
When you walk away with peace, you're good in your heart. You're fine.
you're good. And you heal faster
good.
too.
100%.
Ending things on bad terms, it's emotionally draining.
Yeah.
And you carry that, it becomes a trauma.
You carry it for years.
Yeah,
It becomes
a trauma.
Yeah,
Yes,
you do carry for years.
You're 100% right.
Yeah.
It's a trauma that you carry, and you
That's
have to
why
heal.
I feel like it's so important to end things on good terms.
Same.
It's so important, because that's, even if you have closure, when you end on bad terms, like this one relationship where I'm still blocked to this day, like that hurts me. Even though I didn't do anything wrong. I know I did. The only
What
wrong
did you
thing,
do that you're blocked?
She's like, the only wrong thing.
The only wrong thing I did there was
Uh-huh.
I was very transparent with the fact that I wasn't in the relationship anymore. Like I wasn't in love anymore. And that hurt him to the point where like he had to block me. And it's not fair.
That hurts.
I get it, but I was being very honest and like nice about it too. You know, it's like,
And
it's
I feel
better-
in that case, he's just a little immature.
It is, but it's
And
still,
it's ego.
but it sucks.
It is. It's
Ego is
immaturity.
hurt,
It's ego.
yeah.
It happened to me with my first ex.
But
So I
it sucks
understand that.
because it's, you ended on bad terms no matter what. And knowing that someone hates me like that is like,
He doesn't hate you. He doesn't hate you.
he turned
He
his
walked
back.
away when she was gonna go say hi. He hates her.
He walked
'Cause
away, and
that's
this happened
rude.
like 3 weeks ago.
How long has it been since you guys
Like
broke
3
up?
years.
Oh, shit.
He hates her.
He doesn't hate you. He feels a lot of resentment. He feels a lot of
Okay,
resentment,
that's
and he
a good way
hasn't
to
been
put it.
able.
But this person has also moved on, and it's like he's fully in another relationship. So
He's-
I don't understand.
He's still holding the resentment. He hasn't fully forgiven.
You hurt
He's
his
not
ego
100%
really
at peace.
bad.
Yeah. He's not at peace. If he does that, he's not at peace. It's
Yeah.
impossible.
Yeah.
It just sucks because it's, you know, like I said, it's like, it's one of those things that like when I'm alone sometimes and I'm like in my head, I'm like, damn, like how could I let myself hurt this person? But in reality, it's like I didn't let myself hurt them, because in a way I ended it as soon as I knew that I had to end it.
No,
You
you
did
were
him a
being,
favor.
You were being true to your feelings
Yeah.
too. Like
Yeah.
But then that's a trauma that carries on into like other relationships that when I know I have to end it, I'm like, oh man, but they're gonna hate me again too. Like it's like I feel like you can't.
It's guilt.
You know,
it's that guilt.
It's that
you know?
guilt.
Yeah.
And what we talked about in the beginning of like when the other person is more into you than like when you are into them. I feel like I'm like with my 2 therapists right now.
But hey, you shouldn't feel bad for that. You
Yeah.
shouldn't. You really should not hold on to that
it's
guilt.
better honesty. Like you gotta be honest.
Yeah. You're
And
doing both of
communicate your
yourselves a
feelings.
favor.
Yeah. No. It's true. I mean, everything happens for a reason too. I'm a hard believer that everything happens for a reason. And that's what I'm telling you. Like when you're going through a heartbreak, you have to be strong enough to like cry about it a few days and then you wake up and you have to be strong enough to move on. And no.
Stop.
Don't cry.
It's not worth it.
I hate when women cry.
Yeah.
It makes me feel terrible.
Being vulnerable is so important, and embracing heartbreak. Sometimes we're too in our heads with how we cope with ourselves, and like reaching out and doing what we're doing today is so important sometimes. So if you are going through a heartbreak and you have no one to talk about it, just reflect at night. Talk to God, whatever spirit you have to talk to, whether it's a family member or someone, maybe a friend that you had in the past that you haven't talked to or opened to in a few years. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just like stumbling. This is what I do when I'm nervous. Just
I'm definitely happy with who I am now, or happier. But yeah, it's a process to grow and go through life and experience things and learn. It's a process, and we all go through it. And
yeah.
I think one of the most important things is that we shouldn't be ashamed of our vulnerability and of our mistakes, so long as we actually learn from them and look back and are able to realize, hey, I'm not that person. That's what's important.
And it's okay to feel things.
And it's okay to feel things, of course. I mean, we're fucking human. We're not supposed to feel things? Like, we're human. It happens. We're not the only ones that go through things. Everybody in the world is going through something. And yeah.
Okay, let's do some rapid fire. You ready?
All right.
The hot seat.
It's my first
All
time
right.
doing this.
Is it fucked up if your ex still uses your streaming services?
I think she still uses it. I don't think it's fucked up. No, not at all. She can use it. I don't mind. I haven't changed my password. I think she still has it.
I would change my password.
Second X. No, I'm not changing my password. I that's kind of petty. I don't want to do that.
You're too nice.
Yeah, that is really nice.
How long do you need to make it official? As a boyfriend and girlfriend, let's say.
Well, boyfriend and girlfriend or exclusivity?
Exclusivity.
I would say it depends. I mean, maybe like 3 months, 1 to 3 months. It really depends on the woman.
Okay. Would you consider dating someone who goes out a lot?
My preference would be to not. And what do you mean by a lot? You mean like 4 days a week, four times a week?
Or every single weekend. Party.
Friday through Sunday.
Whether it's with friends or with you. It's just going out a lot.
And she wants to go out?
Yeah, she wants to go out.
No, I don't want to do that. What the fuck? I'm 31. I gotta go to. I can't stay out till 4 a.m. anymore.
No, that shit
I
hurts.
can't. I don't even drink as much as I used to because I hate waking up like I'm dying.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Fuck
heartburn
that
is
shit.
real.
Yeah, the heartburn is real.
Yeah.
Los Baileys.
Yeah, I go through
The whole body
Alka-Seltzers like
hurts.
No.
Yeah.
Those days are gone.
What if do you believe like girls having men best friends?
Are they gay?
No, we're talking about straight men.
No, I think that's okay. I mean, look, I have a great best friend right now, and I mean, she talks more to my sister now, but I think that's fine. I mean, you can usually sense sexual tension. If there is sexual tension, you sense it, and if there isn't, there isn't. It's platonic, and it is what it is. So I think that's fine. I mean, I think it's okay.
Okay. Best things to ask on a first date.
Best things to ask. Oh my God, I ask a lot.
You talk a lot though.
Yo hablo con pinga.
You do talk a lot.
Okay, the last first date
I
you
can
went
talk.
on. The last first date you went on, what was like
Even
the
if
first
you're not
question you
feeling
asked?
it, he can talk.
Even if I'm not feeling, I'll be talking. The last first date I went to was an MLS game, and I'm still actually seeing this girl, so it's pretty cool.
Oh.
But what was the question?
Best things to ask on a first date.
Best things to ask.
Do you have kids?
Oh yeah. There's a lot. I mean, I don't know the best thing. I don't know what their values are, like what they value most in their lives. Are they family oriented? I think that's very important. Make sure they're family oriented. That's pretty important.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Do shorter relationships hurt more than longer ones?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes you meet somebody you really like and it just doesn't work out. It happened to me like a month and a half ago.
What happened?
We wanted different things, you know.
Interesting. Okay.
So it happens.
You want to add something to rapid fire?
I would say if the girl you're seeing is a bad texter, does that affect the relationship?
That's a great question because I'm a big texter.
You're not a caller?
No, I hate calling.
I like calling.
I hate texting, calling,
hate
FaceTiming.
texting.
I hate communication.
She hates communication. That's just not a fucking picture with a note to her.
But it's not just on relationships; it's with everyone.
It's with everyone, yeah.
That's a great question. As long as the other person is open and, you know, you could be someone that says, hey, look, I'm not a great texter. I like you. I just don't like texting. You know, I can adapt to their communication style. That's fine. But it is a red flag if somebody's not texting you, take 24 hours to text you back. Like what, you know, that's a red flag. Of course. Yeah.
I think I have so many red flags right now. My head is like,
I have another
because the
for you.
first thing you think is maybe she's not as interested as
Yeah.
I am, or maybe she's looking for something different. She could be interested, she could be attracted, but maybe she doesn't want anything serious, wants something casual. And if you're looking for, you know, something committed, then that's gonna, you know, prompt questions.
Okay,
Sure.
my next question is.
Wait, let me jump in real quick before I forget. What are your top 4 red flags?
Top 4 red flags. Damn.
Could be 3. Make it shorter.
Red flags. When they talk about their ex on the first date. I guess it also depends on the context of the conversation. But I've gone on dates with a girl that doesn't shut the fuck up about her ex, and I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? Like I'm not taking you out to dinner to listen to you talk about your
It's
ex.
not therapy session.
Yeah, you know, and then I'm there like, oh, pobrecita, you know, I'm there like consoling her, like it'll be okay.
Slowly
Like,
becoming her best friend.
like, God, what the fuck am I doing here, man? God damn. So yeah, definitely talking about the ex, but again, it also you also have to account for the context. I don't know. I don't. That's a good question. I can't think of any other red flags right now. But that's a big one because it's happened to me, and I'm just like, oh, here we go again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. If she's cursing too much, that's a huge red flag.
It's really ghetto.
Really ghetto. Like saying, or just really loud. Like that's not a red flag for me. But like usually when somebody's really loud, I try talking like at a I kind of whisper to see if they match my tone of voice.
See if they're reading the
And
room.
sometimes they don't, and I'm super embarrassed because I'm looking around I'm like, this girl's loud as shit. But yeah, a lot of times they don't.
So volume.
A lot of times they don't read the room. Like they don't, they don't catch those social cues. I'm just like, oh God. So yeah, volume's a big thing. But that's not a red flag. No, I don't agree.
I mean, unless a person's like, una chuma, then it's a red flag.
Yeah,
because those are the signs.
Yeah, the truth, my vibes. I'm like, nah, I'm done. I'm done. I'm getting out of here.
Okay, Ellie, go ahead.
Is it a breaking factor if the woman you're dating doesn't know how to cook or refuses to cook?
No, not at all. I don't care.
You
what
don't
about
care?
cleaning?
Don't care.
So she could be like the
pay a cleaning
messiest
lady,
person.
so- Oh, no.
That's where the issues arise.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a messy guy. I'm not dirty, but I can be messy. I can leave like clothes around,
Yeah.
some shoes around in that sense. I'm working on it, because I know a lot of times like women don't want that. They, they want you to put your socks in the hamper, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
that
start the
stuff.
habits.
And I understand. I completely understand. There's something I can comply with. But I live alone, so I can do whatever the hell I want. Right?
Yeah.
But no, it wouldn't bother me if they can't cook. I mean, I'll teach her. Teach her how to cook an egg, a chicken breast,
Grilled cheese
a
sandwich.
chicken breast, a grilled cheese,
Boiled eggs every morning.
It really isn't that hard. It's not that hard. I
Yeah.
mean, the seasoning is the worst part, but
Yeah.
it's not tough.
No,
It's
it is.
easy.
Because this girl didn't have a kitchen for how long? 3 years?
Yeah, like 3 years.
Oh my
She
god! So
did
you
have
like
kitchen.
you ordered food all the time, like or
I
ate
still
out?
do.
Oh my god! It's so expensive. I can't
It
do
is.
that
It is.
anymore.
It adds
I
up.
stopped doing that.
It adds
It is
up.
expensive. Oh well, also my abuelita cooks too, but but I'm scared. I'm scared of that because, for example, for my uncle, that's a determining factor. Like growing up, always like he was raised knowing that the woman is the one that provides the food, and in Cuba there's no Uber Eats or whatever. So into his relationship now, like my tia is the one that cooks everything, and I'm just like,
Yeah, because it's like, I don't want to be a fucking cook all the time.
no, I just
I'll
physically
meal
don't know
prep
how.
for us,
Yeah.
but like,
I
I'm not going to be always in the kitchen.
physically-
Like, you come home. I come home from work too.
Yeah, I can make sandwiches.
I love sandwiches,
Yeah.
but look, some
enough
women
to survive.
Some women are okay with prescribing to gender roles. Some are, some aren't. Some are okay with some roles, not others, and that's okay. I think you have to compromise when it comes to that.
Okay, so this is my last question. Do you think it's important to live with your partner before getting married?
Yes, hell yes.
Why?
I mean,
That's where the true colors come
yeah,
out.
exactly. That's when you really start getting to know somebody for real. Like, who are they when no one's
Yeah.
looking? It's
And
just
that's
you.
scary because at least in my mom's opinion, the way I was raised, it's like no te muda until you're married.
Yeah.
And I'm scared of that because then when you move in with someone, that's when you really see their true colors,
Yeah.
like how they coexist with you.
Wait, so your mom wouldn't let you to like move out now?
I
if
mean,
you
no, I
wanted?
do whatever I want. But in her perfect world, like a woman should move out once she's married.
No, I can move out like whenever. If let's say I want to move in tomorrow with a boyfriend. my
No, I
mom's
mean,
fine.
I've done it, but she's not been okay with it.
But she's
Yeah.
like, you're not paying shit.
Like in her mind,
You're not paying fucking rent or nothing because that's not
and
your
in
house.
her mind, she sees it as estás embarcada. Like now you're never gonna get engaged.
Yeah.
That's the way she sees it.
No.
I don't think. I don't
I don't
see it
think
like
so
that
either. I don't think so. I think it's very important to live with your significant other
100%.
because that's when you really get to see like how they coexist with you.
Yeah, and that's when you get to compromise a lot,
Yeah,
too, right? Because
of course.
you're both gonna have different wants and needs.
And maybe
in
you
your
get
living
tired of
environment.
having this person or
I mean,
walking
it's
around every
technically
day.
the
like,
most important part of a relationship. If you're gonna have a family with this person, how can you get married with someone that you don't know if you are gonna enjoy living with?
Exactly.
Like, what if I get tired within like 15 minutes? I'm a very independent person. Like, I like
I'm
having
very
my personal
independent.
space.
Yeah, I like to be alone.
So, like,
and I
what
don't
if
like
I-
people telling me what to do.
Or even
Don't
just like
that.
touching my things, like how you said, if you live on your own, you want to leave something on the chair, your pants, your shirt. You don't want to have someone coming from work telling you, "Oh, why is there a mess?" Like
Exactly.
It's there. I'm gonna figure it out. Like if
Yeah.
it's gonna take me a day or two, that's on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as it's a controlled mess. But
I think
don't.
it's a Scorpio thing too. Like we don't like to be told what to do.
I do not like, and this is
do not like it.
now that we're talking about that. I hate when people call me out on shit. Because most of the time, I know I'm supposed to be called out, but I don't like getting called out. Like, for example, I hadn't gone to the gym for 3 weeks and my trainer called me out. I got offended.
I got offended.
How dare you?
In front of everyone?
No, like in my face, I was like, but that's how I am. I don't like getting called out. And in relationships, that's something I'm very open with. And I tell my partner all the time, like, hey, if there's something you want to call me out on, do it in private when I'm not in a bad mood. I don't like getting called out in front of people because that's embarrassing.
100%.
So embarrassing.
I don't like getting called out when I'm frustrated, aggravated. If you see that I'm in a bad mood, don't call me out on something that has nothing to do with like what I'm going through right now. It's knowing when to approach a situation. And I think that's important in relationships too, because part of getting to know your partner is knowing how to talk to them and communicate.
And knowing
with
their
them.
personality
Exactly.
too. Like,
exactly. If you see
the right time.
that we're at an event, F1, Miami Open, and I'm like stressed because my pictures aren't coming out right, or I'm stressed because we just had to walk 2 miles from the parking lot.
That's just stressful.
Don't call me out for being in a bad mood right there.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it when we get home and we're not in that situation.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Communication.
Yes.
Yeah, that falls back to just communication, knowing how to communicate correctly.
Okay, I'm done now.
Okay.
All great points.
All right, guys.
It's a reality TV experience just from watching.
We're good. Everybody said everything you guys had to say.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as us. It was literally a therapy session. We will be back here next Tuesday. Ozzy, thank you for joining us today.
He might become the third co-host.
Hey, I'd be so down.
That'd be so
Guys,
fun.
vote. Bring me on.
Let us know down below. Make sure you subscribe, like, follow, and we'll see you guys next Tuesday. Bye.